room. We gotta record first. Will all of you pay attention, please? You may wonder why I'm displaying such a picture. You know the mountain? You know this mountain? What do we call it? Raise your hand if you know, please. That is like a landmark in the US, of course. So what do we call that mountain? Raise your hand if you know. No one? This is, okay, Ahmed Fahmi, go ahead. What do we call it? Excuse me, they give you access to unmute yourselves. Go ahead, Ahmed.
Yes, Mister. It's Mount Rushmore.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So this is Mount Rushmore. So why I display such picture of Mount Rushmore? This is a big question you have today, and how is it related to the sheet I sent to the WhatsApp group, the big picture sheet? Try to make that logical connection. This is a reading session. So the technique we follow, the reading session, is totally different from that of the writing. When it comes to the writing sessions, we have some rules. So I just explained these rules, and I ask you to apply the equations of the grammatical equations, of course, on some questions, and it is a little bit straightforward. But when it comes to reading, things are different, of course. So here we have a helicopter, and I have like like Mount Rushmore. So make connection between the helicopter and the big picture sheet. So what is in common between this helicopter you see now and the big picture lesson we are about to explain? Can you make that logical connection between these two? Big picture, reading, helicopter.
Teacher, they're both in the same area, like setting.
Okay. Great. Thank you, Omar. Who else? Who else, guys? So here we have the aerial shots. Aerial shots. So this is like a big picture, by the way. When you look at this picture, guys, what do you focus on? What do you see now? If I ask you to describe, what do you see? What grabs your attention first? Maybe, I believe, figuring out the four public figures. You see Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, and the other guys, right? So you will focus on the faces of the presidents, right? This is what we want from you in reading. And this is a big issue because some students, when reading a passage during the trial time, they feel the great pressure. They feel the burden. When we ask them, what is the source, the origin of such burden? They say that, Mr. Ehab, when we skim, when we read, we feel that we gotta just remember everything. Every minute details. All the details. That is nonsense. You don't have a test with unlimited time. This is like time challenging test. So time management is so important. Are we allowed to read every single word? No, it is not okay. Mr. Ehab, when I read, I know everything. So when I do the questions, I do not need to go back to the passage except for one or two questions. So for detailed reading, you know, so it is okay, but that is not the best technique, of course. You must be able to skim. You must be able to figure out what is important, what is not, what to focus on, what to skip. Take that into consideration, please. So what I want to teach you this lecture is to focus on the big picture. Just figuring out the main point, main idea. of the passage is, oh, just two guys in the waiting room. Who's this guy? What? So did you send the link, guys, to so yeah, okay, no problem. So a student contacted me yesterday that one of his friends want to attend the session. Okay, you can send the link to anybody, no problem at all, as long as you take permission, you know. So if you'd like to send the link of this lecture only to a friend, it is okay, but just let me know to admit him or her. Anyway, back again. So the big picture is important. Please focus on getting the main point. So how do we evaluate the skimming? When someone says, I skimmed the passage, so I just ask him or her, what is the main point of this passage? If they manage to just tell the main point, it is okay. So that is powerful, successful skimming. If they just didn't manage to get the main point, regardless of the time. So they say, Mr. Ehab, we skimmed the passage in 1 minute only. So yeah, the outcome, please. We do not know what this passage is about. This is nonsense. You just wasted a minute with no purpose, in vain. So do not do that. Just focus on the big picture. So when I ask you to describe this picture, you just say 3 things only. I see helicopter, I see mountain, and I see like the sculpture of 4 presidents. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing else. What if I see people here, Mr. Ehab, watching something? Forget about that. Can I describe the trees or the canyon around? No, not important at all. Can I describe like the fracture something? No, do not do that. Can I describe the defects I noticed? No, do not describe anything. Just say I see 4 presidents, mountain, helicopter. That's it. This is what I teach you today. That is so important. Focus on the big picture. Just have the aerial shot. We are for the aerial shot. In reading, guys, we are playing a strategic game. Okay, never play Call of Duty first person. We are not for first person action games in reading. We are for strategic technique. So you're just on the helicopter, you hover, guys. So do not get down to the streets, please. Wow. So back to the sheet, our sheet, we have the big picture or the helicopter view. Focus on big ideas. Do not give a hoot to tiny details. And that is for now, okay? Because in some other lectures, handling specific passages, I would say details are important, especially when it comes to natural science. So never apply one technique in all the passages. That is a big mistake, misconception. Students say, we usually do like that. We usually do this scheme, you know. We just skim the passage in 3 minutes and we do the questions in 8 minutes. You gotta be flexible, you know. If it works in literature, it does not mean that it works with natural science or history passage. For example, when it comes to natural science, you must dedicate like 4 minutes for skimming the passage, reading the passage, and 7 only for doing the questions. It depends on the technique you're comfortable with. Anyway, back again to the big picture. So what is the main focus of today's lecture? Focus on the big idea, please. Focus on the mountain. Do not give a hoot to the details at all for now. So, Mr. Ehab, if I just know the main idea of the passage after the skimming process, and I can tell what is the topic of every paragraph. Is it a kind of successful skimming? Of course, this is perfect. So if you just took the 3 minutes or the 2 minutes, see, there is, for example, yeah, here we go. This is the passage. So by the end of your skimming, you can tell the main point, the main idea of the whole passage, and you can tell what is this paragraph about? What is the third one about? What is the fourth? And you must read the conclusion, of course. We said that you must read the introduction, you must read the conclusion. It is okay if you know the topic of every paragraph. This is like the primitive technique of skimming. So, I ask a question now. What is the difference between topic and the main idea? Who can tell me? If you know, just raise your hand, please. What is the difference between the topic and the main idea? Raise your hand if you know. How guys? Just give it a try, you know. If you answer incorrectly, I will not shoot you. Yusuf, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. I think that the main idea expresses the whole paragraph, but the topic expresses one or small tiny details about the paragraph.
Thank you, Yusuf. Omar?
Teacher, the main idea, it explains the whole. If I tell someone the main idea of the paragraph, he'll know everything, like every big detail about the paragraph. Topic is just what the paragraph is talking about.
Thank you so much. Who else? Thank you. Simply, the topic is what the paragraph or the passage about. So, when I ask you, what is the topic of this passage? The answer may be one word, you know, 2 words. You say the topic is, for example, addiction. The topic of this paragraph is terrorism. The topic of this passage is innovation. The topic of this passage is evolution theory. The topic of this passage is slavery, constitution. This is the topic. One word that tells what the passage is about, what the paragraph is about. Okay? 1 word, 2 words. When it comes to the main idea, write this equation, please. This is the sheet I sent here. So write it. Topic is what the passage or the paragraph about. Main idea equals the topic. Only no. Plus, why you write this? Why you write this? Or plus, so what? What does that mean? You get the topic before getting the main idea. So you say, Mr. Ehab, the topic of this passage is slavery. Slavery. Okay. So this is the topic. Slavery. So I ask you then, what is the main idea of the passage? You say the main idea equals slavery, which is the topic, plus so what? What does this so what mean? It means what is the author's position of slavery? Does the author support it or against it? You write here. So you say slavery is bad. Slavery is bad is the main idea. So the main idea equals the topic slavery plus the position of the author is bad. Slavery is good. And do not be astonished or surprised, please, okay? We don't give a hoot to your background information at all. So you say, what? Would an author say that slavery is good? Yes, of course, why not? Most of the history passages are like debates about slavery, whether to abolish means to end, whether to abolish slavery now or not. Some thinkers at that time said that we must not end slavery now. It must be like a gradual process. So it is okay. So please do not use your background information on SAT reading at all. If you have information about biology, chemistry, and or physics, just put the information in the trash before you start skimming the very first passage on SAT reading. Take that into consideration. Why I say that? Because some students are a little bit distracted because of the background knowledge they have. This is so dangerous. This is a kind of jeopardy. Why? Because this is your passage. You have question number 1, for example. This is a question. You have A, B, C, and D. And you have a scientific rule here, you know, from biology classes or chemistry classes. You will not find an evidence on this scientific rule, but you know it from classes, from the biology classes. Does it mean that it is correct? No, it is wrong answer, unless, as long as you do not see it, simply guys, as long as you do not see that scientific rule, if you don't see it, it's wrong, that's it. You see it, it's correct. You don't see it in the passage, it's wrong. So, Mr. Ehab, I find something like that. The sun rises in the east. That is a fact, Mr. Ehab. So it is correct. The sun rises in the east. Can you prove the opposite? I say no, but do you see this fact in the passage? No. Okay. Can I say that it is indirectly stated? You say no, then it is wrong. It is fact, but it is not mentioned. Not mentioned on SAT reading equals wrong. And I told you that this is one of the big misconceptions. Students just scrutinize the answer choices based on their background knowledge. This is nonsense. It does not work. Okay, you will be fooled in like 4 or 5 questions based on your background knowledge. Anyway, back again to the main idea, to the topic. So the topic is like 1 word or 2 words answering the question what the passage or the paragraph about, okay? When it comes to the main idea is a sentence. See, did you notice that the main idea contains a subject, verb, and complete thought, right? This is the main idea. So subject, verb, and it gives complete thought. Your main idea must be expressed in an independent clause. So when I ask you about the topic, you say slavery. Is it a sentence? No, but it is a topic, 1 word. But when I ask about the main idea, make sure you're sending an independent clause, a sentence that contains a subject, verb, and complete. Okay? Well, so this is the difference. Mr. Ehab, can the structure help us getting to the big picture so fast, of course. And here we notice the big difference between people skimming in a flexible way and people who are like rigid. See? So you can take like a screenshot or something of that before I clean that up. Well, 3, 2, 1. Okay, guys. So today we don't give a hoot to tiny details at all. We don't need them. We focus mainly on the big picture. You must have like the aerial view. Please, the first step is to ask yourself before skimming, what is the type of the passage I'm about to skim? The type of the passage will help here. For example, see, this is a literature passage. Do I skim it the same way like the other passages? No. You know that when it comes to literature passages, I have to focus on the characters, characterization, and most importantly, what? The conflict. Why the conflict? Because the conflict is the main point, the main idea of the literature passage, right? So, for example, we have characters here, Akira, Chi, and we have Naomi as well. Just make connection. What is the relationship between these three characters? You will end up with having the conflict. You got the conflict, congratulations, you got the main idea of the literature passage. Okay, in the literature passage, we focus on what is in between the quotation, the speech marks. See the speech marks, guys? Can we skip what is in between the speech marks? No, never we do that, never. Can we skip the descriptive style, the description of a door, of a wall, of someone? Yes, we can. But we cannot get over what is in between speech marks. Never do that because it tells the conflict. Okay, does it work with this passage? Does what I said work with social science? No, it does not, of course. We have some another technique. In the social science, guys, we just read the introduction and the conclusion, and we can read like the first sentence of each paragraph. Congratulations, you skimmed the passage, the social science passage. So you must be flexible. Do not just pick one technique and apply it on all of the passages. If one of your classmates, a friend, tells you that I applied this specific technique, this specific strategy, and it works for me, it does not mean that it will work for you, because different people, different minds. Take that into consideration, please. So you just try to skim, try to apply different schemes, and you'll end up with having the one you're comfortable with, the one you are the most productive with. So Ahmed asks, can I read the passage, put the idea, then answer? Yeah, if you do it so fast, in 1 minute you can. So why 1 minute or 90 seconds? You just get the main point and start answering. Here you have a privilege of saving time. You just only took 90 seconds. So you have plenty of time. What does this plenty of time enable me to do? So you just skimmed it in 90 seconds. Congratulations. Go back to the questions, no problem at all. Just figure out what I'm asked to do in 11, 12, 13, and so on. Then you have the right now. You have the time to go back to the passage in every question. It is okay. No problem at all. But what if you talk like 5 minutes reading this passage? In this case, you have like 6 minutes only for answering the questions. It does not mean that you don't have plenty of time. You cannot go back in every question to the passage to make sure whether you answered it correctly or not. So it has a big advantage. I'm talking about the 5-minute scheme. Big advantage, which is knowing everything. 5 minutes reading a passage means that it is a detailed reading. You read every single word, so you understand everything. And you even remember all the details. So you make like that number 1 or 11. So you know the answer, you just pick the answer. When you find like line reference like that, okay, you can go back to the passage. It is acceptable. But what if I took like 5 minutes reading the passage and I feel that I need to go to the passage in every question? It means that you wasted your time. And the detailed reading is not the best technique for you. You just go for skimming because the detailed reading didn't work. It was like a real flop. If you, after 5 minutes, you need to go back in every question, this is not okay. Just go for skimming 2 minutes or 3 minutes. And whenever you need to go back to the passage, do it. It is okay, but you cannot do it while already taking 5 or 6 minutes reading the passage. This is nonsense. So anyway, Omar asks, could I skim the question first, then read the paragraph, keeping the question in mind? That is a very effective technique, but it does not work with all of the students. Why? I tell you now. That's why I say you must try all the strategies, all the techniques in grade 10, and you'll end up with having one technique at the end, you know, at the end of grade 10. So yeah, I will skim the literature passage this way. It works with me. I'll skim the history passage this way. It works with me. I tried many, but this is the best. So now everything is settled down for you. This is what you're gonna do. As for your question, can I skim the questions first? We explained this before, but because this is your first lecture with us, Omar, so you asked about that. Anyway, it is very effective. Why? I'm gonna tell you now, especially if you're in grade 10. This is a passage. You do not know what is important, what is not, what to skip, what to focus on, right? But when you do like that, even before the skimming, guys, so you say here, the authors most likely use examples in lines 1 to 9. So you keep in mind that the examples in the first paragraph are important. So examples, I will focus on the examples. Do not do that with vocabulary and context questions. Not important at all because they are specific, so it will not be helpful. So now you want to get like what to focus on when skimming, right? So do not do that with vocabulary and context. Here in 13, The authors indicate that the people value gift giving because they feel, so you say, value of gift giving and feelings. Okay, so when I skim the passage and find anything related to the value of gift giving and the feeling received, so this is important. Social psychologists. So yeah, and this is paragraph 2. So I say that when it comes to paragraph 2, I focus on social psychologists and the dead weight loss phenomenon. That's it. Assumption in 41 to 44 about gift givers. So when I get to it, I focus on it. You do that quickly, you go back to the passage and you skim it. It will be no doubt successful skimming, of course, because now you know what you are looking for, you know, because sometimes the students feel a little bit distracted, feel a little bit lost in the details. So Mr. Ehab, we're gonna skim, okay, but we cannot figure out what is important and what is not. So we do not know what to move to the trash bin, you know, in our mind, and what to keep in mind. We cannot decide. So skimming the questions quickly in 30 seconds will give you great privilege, will boost your skimming, will make your skimming very powerful. So now when you start reading, you know that we have examples, you know, see, including weddings, birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, baby showers. So I know that we have examples of these are very important. What is the function of such thing? So even during the skimming process, you get the answers of the questions. That is very effective. Try it, try it. If it works with you, I'm talking generally, if it works with you, just go for it. Why not? And this is what you should do before the trials. Enough time before the trials. You cannot do that like a week before the trial. This is nonsense. Enough time. So that is so suitable. So we are preparing for March. So it would be great. Or May. So back again to the big picture. The structure, guys, the structure is so important. So what does the big picture means? It means we focus on big issues, big ideas, right? So if I end up with knowing that this is the introduction, this is the conclusion, where to get the main idea from the introduction or the conclusion, both, but the most accurate answer of the question, what is the main idea, will be found in the conclusion. The conclusion is the best way to get the main idea from, no doubt, because the introduction is sometimes tricky. Do not depend on the introduction to get the main idea. Why? Because sometimes you'll find only the old idea in the introduction. So what old idea do we have? Old and new ideas? Of course, guys. Well, so we will not say everything in a lecture, of course, but sometimes authors start their articles by giving the old idea, by saying that people thought that in the past. So is it the position of the author? No. The position of the author is totally the opposite of the people's positions, by the way. So if the author started his article, the passage, by saying, people thought that stress is bad, that is a big clue for you to figure out the new idea or the position of the author. The author will not agree with that, of course, because if the author will agree with that, the author wouldn't write the passage simply. Why would he write about something all the people know? So we say that, of course, the author's position is stress is good. If he or she started the essay with stress is bad, it is something thought by people or scientists have argued that stress is bad. Now you can make that leap. You can say that now I can guess the author's position. The author's position is that stress is good. That's it. So do not be fooled by the introduction to get the main idea from, please. The conclusion is better. Well, so you just get the main point. You just know what this paragraph about. This paragraph is about an experiment. This paragraph, for example, just giving examples about this specific passage. This is about an experiment. The second one is about a study. Just know that. Study only. Experiment only. And when you find a question about the experiment, you know that you need to go to paragraph 2. Another question about the study, you need to go to paragraph 3. That's it. That is the privilege of skimming. So you must skim quickly. If you read every single word in the passage, it's not skimming. It is detailed reading. So is it okay to do the detailed reading? It is okay. It depends on you. So if you go for the detailed reading, taking 5 minutes reading this passage, 6 minutes or 5 minutes answering the questions, and you end up with having a good rate of correct answers, go for the detailed reading, no problem at all. Well, guys, so the structure is important. Back again to the big picture. Well, guys, so here, I hope you printed this sheet. If you printed the sheet, raise your hand, please. If you printed the sheet, raise your hand. And I told you before, guys, if you are a high school student, there must be a printer at home. Not optional, it is a must. So you didn't print, guys, Anis, Malak, Hamad Ala, Omar Effet, Shafi'i, and Yusuf Ahmed. So please, guys, you must have printers at home. So whenever I send a sheet or a book or something, you just print it on the spot. Anyway, guys.
Teacher, can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Teacher, my sister has many books for SAT, like big, like real books, SAT practice. Can I just use them instead?
No.
I need to print it.
So you must print the sheets the way you see them. That's it.
Okay.
You can use Khan Academy, Omar. Khan Academy reading comprehension book. That is, if you find it among the books of your sister, it would be great. Khan Academy reading book. Well, and
okay.
Of course we will need the practice tests, the official tests of the College Board. But anything else, no.
Okay.
Well, guys, so you see now a passage. Would you please skim the passage quickly and tell me the topic? So you're asked to tell the topic. The topic can be one word, by the way, 2 words, fragment. And I need the main idea of this passage as well. Topic and main idea. Once you get them, send a message in the chat box. Well, guys, hands down. If you hear me now, raise your hands, please. If you hear me now, raise your hands, please. So we do that all the time. Okay, all of you, thank you so much. Because I know that Egypt's match started, you know, so I will do that from time. I want to watch it, frankly speaking, you know. Adam. Well, guys, let's wait till I make a phone call. Well, guys, Rawan, I think the main idea of the passage is that there is a bacterial infection in the trees. Okay. The topic is about fruits and the main idea. Main idea is that sugar is being used by for plants and other things. Topic citrus. No, there is no citrus reading on. Okay. The disasters that occurred in Florida. Wow. Omar, can you question first? No, thank you. I will write two answers, okay? I will write two answers. One by Muhammad Ala, topic serious green nowadays, serious green affected area, Florida. Oh wow, that is great. Let's check. Amr Fahmi's one first. This is Amr Fahmi's one, which is wrong. And we like the wrong answers. What? Pay attention, guys. I just focus on the wrong answers. This is Amr's answer. Pay attention and learn from mistakes. Amr says that this is the main idea. Disasters that occurred in Florida. Amr, we don't like this answer. Why? Can you figure out why, Amr? Switch on the microphone, Amr, if you please.
Yes, sir.
So just try to figure out, just think of your thinking, judge your way of thinking. What makes it incorrect according to your viewpoint? Suppose that it is sent by another student. Let's scrutinize every single word. Disasters that occurred in Florida. Is Florida the setting here? Yes, right?
Yeah.
So disasters, is it singular or plural? Can you tell me?
Plural.
Plural, yeah. So would you please figure out the disasters stated here?
Oh, I just realized it's all about the plants,
We are talking
the
about.
the bl- the plant life in Florida, or just like
So we are
plagues that affected plague life.
great. Do we talk about plagues or one plague?
Plagues a lot, several ones that hit Florida's plant industry.
Several ones to your surprise. Okay, give me a clue that it is about several ones. Well, we have here citrus greening, the plague, which is singular.
Yes.
Citrus greening is singular. To your surprise, here we talk about Huang Longbing. Do you think that it is another plague?
No, it's just this Chinese name, I believe.
Excellent. So this is the same one. So till now we are talking about the same thing. The disease.
It's referring to citrus greening too.
So still we are talking about one, right? So we don't have plagues. We have plague only, right?
Yeah.
Plague, one. Disaster, this is wrong because this is too general. Okay? Thank you so much.
Two general answers are mostly wrong.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. But I guess like, are you a little bit arrogant, Amr?
No.
So you read every single word or you just skimmed it quickly, you know, just looking at citrus greeting and we have here disease, so we have many disasters. You didn't like focus on or you belittled the passage?
I skimmed it. I just like read the first 3 lines in each paragraph.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Amr is one of the best students here in this group, guys. That's why I like discussing the thing with him. Thank you, Amr. I really appreciate that. So guys, please learn from mistakes. Disasters is general, disasters is plural. While we talk about singular here, we have only one big issue that affected Florida. According to what we read, we are talking about citrus greening only. So here citrus greening is the same like plague. Still, I'm talking about citrus greening. When I say Huang Longbing, this is citrus greening. When I have the word the disease referring to citrus greening and greening refers to citrus greening, so I'm talking about singular thing. So disasters is wrong. So if you say plague occurred in Florida, occurred, I don't like occurred as well. Why? Because occur means it can be positive, it can be negative, while mainly in the passage, I'm talking about something totally negative. So you must indicate, you must use a word that indicates negative effect. Okay? So we gotta be very accurate. Well, guys, so this is something we learned. Let's take another answer from Muhammad Ala, and we will scrutinize Omar Afat's answer. So just have text. This is Muhammad Ala. Muhammad Ala says that the topic is citrus greening, which is totally incorrect, which is totally correct, sorry. Let's place it here. Okay, here we go. Copy all. Excuse me, guys. Yeah, here we go. Pay attention, please. Muhammad Ali says the topic is citrus greening. 100% correct. 100% correct. Main idea: citrus greening infected 80% of Florida's citrus trees. 100% correct. 100% correct. While I must say that I do not like using statistics and data in the main idea. So I don't like this 80%. You would say most, which would be too much better. You know, citrus greening infected like most of Florida's citrus trees. We do not here. This is this is reading session, so we will not correct grammatical mistakes, the usage of a person or something. No, we don't give a hoot to that here in the reading session. So citrus greening infected like most instead of the 80% of Florida's citrus trees. 100% correct. So Omar Affat's answer, see guys, I'd say that this is, Omar says that the topic is citrus greening, and this is the main point, the main idea. Let's judge it, evaluate. Main idea is that citrus greening is bad for plants and other things. Okay, that is good. That is good actually. While I don't like other things at all, because that is general as well. You can just mention the aspects. You can just mention the things in brief. In brief, that's it. Well, thank you so much, guys. And I got a good answer from who? Shafai says orange plague, main topic. What happened to the oranges in Florida? Yes, what happened to the oranges in Florida? You gotta state what happened. So please, I don't like this. What happened? You must say, you know, citrus greening. Citrus greening. Well, so the topic is citrus greening. And the main idea must begin with the topic, citrus, and you must write it, you know, like that, citrus greening. So make your mind function like that. You can write CG, citrus greening affected Florida's citrus trees badly. Citrus trees badly. That's it. And you got the main point. Well, guys, pay attention, please. Read this paragraph, answer the question. The reference, read the question carefully. the reference to yellow leaves, green, sour, and hard oranges in lines 6 to 9 primarily serves to what? Read carefully, it's in the answer. Excellent, Ahmed Hamad. Ahmed Hamad sent a good answer, a good main topic. He says, a plague that affects Florida's trees. Wow. Send the answer. If you hear me now, raise your hand, please. Raise hand if you hear me now. Ahmed Mohammed Fahmi. Ahmed Fahmi. Okay. Anyway. Thank you, guys. All of you, lower your hands. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Send the answer. Muhammad Ala, excellent. Muhammad Omar Affat, excellent. Omar and Amr Muhammad. Wow, perfect, Amr. Yusuf Sharif, great, Yusuf. Abdurrahman Sayyid, correct. Rana Sharif, not accurate. Ahmed Hamad, thank you. Ahmed, correct answer. Rawan, excellent. Rawan, correct answer. Khalid, wrong answer. Lujain, wrong answer. And Ahmed Muhammad Fahmi, that is not accurate. Yusuf Ahmed, perfect, Yusuf. Well, guys, all of you pay attention, please. So here, citrus greening, the plague that could wipe out Florida's 9 billion orange industry begins with, you know, brown bags, okay, brown bugs on skin, sun-kissed leaf. Well, see, something important. Play this technique. Play positive, negative. Here I say leaves turn yellow and the oranges deprived of sugars from the leaves remain green, sour, and hard. Many fall before harvest, brown, necrotic, flesh. So you've got to ask yourself one question. Do we talk about something positive or negative? Positive effect or negative effect? Of course, negative. Negative effect. See? Necrotic, fall before harvest, failed. So that tells it is negative. So we are talking about effect. So we describe some effects of citrus greening. Yes, that is correct, no doubt. Point out the consequence of giving plants too many nutrients. We didn't talk about that at all. We are just talking about the effect of citrus greening, the damaging effect, not the damaging effect of giving plants too many nutrients. Suggests that farmers harvest their crops too early. Do we talk about time here? The effect of time? No, at all. Demonstrate the difficulty of growing crops in a humid climate. That is wrong because it was not the result of the humid climate at all. Well, guys, I ask you now to read these two paragraphs and to get the main idea. Great, Muhammad Ala. Yes, that is the topic. You got the topic, Muhammad Ala, but I'm waiting for the main idea. Omar, I felt you've been a little bit hasty regarding this exercise. Ahmed Muhammad Fahmi, you got the topic that is accurate, 100%. The first part, I mean, you know. Excellent, Amr Muhammad. Great. Oh, Muhammad Ala. Who's that guy? Shafi'i. Ahmed Shafi'i. Wow, Shafi'i. That is perfect. Ahmed Shafi'i. You know what, guys? Yeah, that is great. The judgment must be objective, I know, but some students are like reflection of the schools. Great, great, thank you. So the people of North Asian Asia were the first Americans. Excellent, Omar Afet. Excellent. That's a good rebound. Wow. So guys, the topic is, as Muhammad Ala said, and Ahmed Fahmi and other guys, you know, we are talking about the Clovis people. This is the topic. Clovis people. And we argue whether they were the first Americans or not. If you are hasty, you will get the main point from that part. But applying the technique, you will get it, and you start from the word but. Because what is before the word but is the old idea. So this is people thought that. It was thought that. But now we have something new. In recent years, researchers have found something. So we care about that. Okay? This is the main point. This is the new idea. So I say people thought that, but I'm writing this essay now to convey something new. So researchers have found more and more evidence that people were living in North and South America before the Clovis. Oh my God. So what comes before says that the Clovis were the first people in America, and now I have something new. So the main idea is that Clovis people were not the first Americans. The first Americans.
Teacher, can I ask something?
Of course.
Teacher, can the topic be first Americans? The
Of
first
course.
American?
Yes, it can be. Of course, it can.
Okay.
Well,
okay, thank you.
You're so welcome. So do we talk about the first Americans here? Yeah. Do we discuss the issue? Yes. So can I write the topic as first Americans? Correct. And the main idea as Clovis people were not the first Americans? Yes. Well, something else. So be careful, please, with this point. The old idea and the new idea. In this paragraph, the first paragraph, you have the old idea plus the new idea. So what marks the new idea? Words like, but, recent years, recent studies. I argue that the author, when the writer says that, but I argue that, but I believe that. On the other hand, I can say that, things like that, like drastic transition words. Okay. This, you can skip that for now. Here we go. So I ask you to read this paragraph and figure out the main point. So the main point.
And the topic two, teacher?
It would be okay. So I just teach you to get the topic, to get the main idea. So if you can get the main idea directly, it is okay, as you like.
Oh, okay.
Very good, Omar Afet. This can help you guys. Just see at odds. So, in see guys, indigenous people were ousted, forced to leave. Ousted means forced to leave the wilderness. But by the end, see what happened by the end? Describes indigenous people as naturalized. So ousted means forced to leave. See now how at odds, see how things changed from just treating people as big danger on wilderness, but now we say that they are naturalized. So that is the big issue we have here. So for the sake of time, I'm not very sure whether you can see if you didn't print the sheet. So if you didn't print the sheet, guys, can you see the screen? Is it clear for you? Or a little bit blurry?
And we can read it.
Okay. So I just wanted the main point. That's it. I do not want anything else. The main point, guys, of this passage. Well, guys, so that is the last exercise. Well, guys, thank you. See? The average stress level on those is probably well. See, guys, let's read, please. Here I say, according to 2013. Okay, so I can paraphrase that it is not the position of the author. So I'm talking about the you only little over third say they succeeded doing that. So I'm talking about stress, more discouraging. Teens and young adults are experiencing higher levels of distress, also struggling to manage it. See, we will explain something called the tone. So is it positive or negative tone here, guys, when I see struggle? See, when I say discouraging, only So this is something negative about stress. This is something negative about stress. Stress has very bad reputation. Still, I'm talking about stress as bad, negative way. It's really bad. See, it's in really bad shape. Acknowledging something, okay. So what else? Much of what we know about physical and mental toll of chronic stress, or still I'm talking about it in a negative way. But to our surprise, we have the word and the big transition but that makes like drastic change in ideas. See, all over these lines, the very first 27 lines I say stress is bad. And to our surprise, the author says in line 28, recent research paints a different portrait of stress, one in which it indeed has a positive side. Oh my God. So now the author says that stress has positive side. Oh my God. Positive side, yeah. This is something new. So this is the main idea. You know, this is the main idea. The new thing, not what the people reiterated all over years. No, the main idea is the new thing the writer writes his or her essay to convey to the readers, not the conventional viewpoint. So there is good stress. Oh, so we have good stress here. That's it. So we can say that stress may have positive sides. This is the main idea of the whole passage. So words like but, however, nevertheless, on the contrary, may mark the new idea, which is mainly the main idea. So when we have old idea and main idea, which one is considered the old idea and new idea, sorry, which one is considered the main idea? The new. We focus on the new idea. So we just accentuate the new idea, which is considered the main idea. Well, guys. So here, Cindy, answer this question, please. If you printed the sheet, it will be easy for you, I guess. Zoom recorded. Oh my God. From the main point, I can answer this question. To your surprise, that's why we say getting the main point, the main idea of the passage is essential, crucial. Knowing only the main idea may help you like answer 3 or 4 questions of the 10 or 11 you have in the passage by just knowing the main point. Excellent, Abdurrahman said. Great, Omar, I fit, okay. So because I'm interested in, I watch this, okay. I like honest guys, you know. Rana, excellent, Rana. عمرو فهمي شافعي يوسف شريف عمر عفت محمد علاء رنا of course the answer is B, that it can sometimes have beneficial effects. Didn't we say that the main idea is stress can be positive, can be good, can be beneficial. So yeah, it responds with B, of course. So just like a survey now, guys, survey. Lower your hands, please. Shafi and Muhammad Ala. Survey. If you think that that is enough for today, raise your hands. If you think that that is enough for today, raise your hands, please. Huh? Okay, thank you. How many students? 12? 12 out of 14. That is majority. Oh my God. Majority, especially, because the guys in the advanced level will take another session after like 1 hour and 10 minutes. So yeah, Anis is the only one that says it is okay because, Anis is Lebanese. Okay, so he's not interested in watching the match. But anyway, guys, no problem at all. We will stop here because when it comes to reading, it is not healthy for you to have like many ideas in one session. So I hope you print this sheet. I hope, lower your hands, please, guys. Lower your hands, please. So, okay, thank you. Well, guys, anyway, as for the Titans group, the advanced level, you have a session at 3 p.m. inshallah. Do not leave just yet, please. We have 2 minutes only.